Biden's reckless gamble, how U.S. weapons in Ukraine could ignite World War III. Wow. I never thought that in my lifetime I would see something like this, experience something like this, the potential for something like this. But I have to admit, as many people speak against the Bible that I was raised up on, and as much as it has been compromised, I have to say that it has been dead on in its prophecy. I hate to say that I hate to say it, because I don't really hate the Bible. I just hate what people have done to religion, or actually the perception of spirituality. But as far as this is concerned, the Bible and Holy Scripture is dead on with war and rumors of war. There have been wars going on, but never on American soil, potentially, which I believe that this will really, really happen. The Democratic Party has a dangerous agenda. The Democratic Party has long been accused of playing dirty in the political arena, but President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris have taken this to unprecedented levels. Their latest move to authorize U.S.-supplied weapons for Ukraine to launch strikes deep into Russian territory, including Moscow, is not just reckless, it's potentially catastrophic. This isn't just a geopolitical strategy. It's a calculated attempt to sabotage Donald Trump's potential return to the presidency. Biden and Harris, fueled by envy and desperation, appear determined to leave the world in shambles for Trump to inherit. A state of chaos that global elites and international bankers eagerly anticipate. Their goal? To escalate a conflict that would divide and control the globe while achieving the depopulation goals long championed by their satanic puppet masters. Meanwhile, the masses are too distracted by social media and superficial entertainment and foolishness to notice the ticking time bomb set by their so-called leaders. The United States has never experienced war in its own soil in modern history, while the nation's military campaigns have caused devastation in places like Vietnam, Iraq, and Afghanistan. Americans remain largely insulated from the horrors of war. Imagine a scenario where bombs rain down on U.S. cities, wiping out entire communities and bloodlines in an instant. Citizens would face the same terror that people in war-torn regions endure daily. Constant fear, resource shortages, and the psychological scars of post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. War isn't a few weeks of inconvenience. It's years of relentless attacks. Imagine waking up every single day not knowing if it's your last. Hospitals overflowing, grocery stores empty, and the once privileged lifestyle of Americans reduced to sheer survival. This is the reality Biden's decision could bring to the homeland. This isn't just about Ukraine and Russia. Biden's actions have the potential to drag multiple nations into a global conflict, setting off a chain reaction that can engulf the entire planet. China, already aligned with Russia. China could escalate its support, particularly if Taiwan becomes a flashpoint. North Korea, with troops reportedly already in Russia, North Korea would likely join the fight, further destabilizing the region. Iran, a longtime adversary of the U.S., Iran could seize the opportunity to strike against American interests. India and Pakistan, long-standing tensions between these nuclear-armed neighbors could explode in the chaos. Israel and Gaza, the ongoing conflict in the Middle East would inevitably become another front in a global war. World War III wouldn't be limited to Europe. It would engulf Asia, the Middle East, and beyond, reducing life on Earth to ashes. As the world teeters on the brink of destruction, most Americans remain oblivious, distracted by TikTok trends, celebrity gossip, and political theater. They fail to grasp the magnitude of what's unfolding. This ignorance plays directly into the hands of the elites who orchestrate these crises. The media serves as a tool for distraction, keeping the population uninformed about the real consequences of Biden's actions. While they argue over trivial matters, the world inches closer to a war that could render these debates irrelevant. In a true wartime scenario, the United States would experience, number one, constant fear. Citizens would live in perpetual terror of airstrikes and invasions. 2, resource shortages. Food, water, and medical supplies would become scarce. 3, infrastructure collapse. Power grids and transportation would be decimated. 4, economic ruin. The dollar would lose its value, plunging the nation into a financial abyss. 5, mass displacement. Millions would flee cities, creating a refugee crisis on home soil. 6, psychological trauma. The population would suffer unprecedented levels of PTSD. This is the harsh reality that Biden's decision could bring to American soil, an experience far removed from the luxury and security most Americans take for granted. At its core, Biden's decision is political. It's about power, control, and revenge. The Democratic Party is willing to gamble with global stability to maintain its grip on the narrative and undermine Trump's vision of peace. This isn't about defending Ukraine or promoting democracy. It's about advancing the interest of a global elite that thrives in chaos and division. Biden and Harris are merely pawns in this game. They're strings pulled by those who profit from war and destruction. America is on the brink of an unprecedented crisis. The actions of the Biden administration could set off a chain reaction that destroys the planet as we know it. Yet, the masses remain distracted and uninformed, unaware of the storm that's about to hit. It's time for people to wake up and understand the stakes. This isn't just about politics, it's about survival. If we don't hold our leaders accountable, we may soon find ourselves living in a nightmare of our own making. Thank you very much for being here. This is Lancescurv. I hope we wake up. On to the next one. Peace.
Lancescurv.com. Bold, raw, and uncut.